Hey programmers, Alvin here. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. I'll be teaching you how to program through new video releases coming out every single day. My intent for this channel at the start is to have it be about teaching absolute beginners how to program and to eventually grow into full, self-sufficient, and confident developers. To that end, my very first video series will be about learning JavaScript from scratch, and you won't need to come in with any knowledge to begin this course. During this course, we're going to be writing tons of code together, but I promise to explain every single line of code step by step along the way. I've been teaching people how to program for about 4 years now, and so I've noticed what works when it comes to learning how to program, as well as what doesn't work for beginners when they learn how to program. And so before I let you loose on this course, what I want to do is leave you with 2 tips that you can use to get the most out of this journey. And so tip number 1 is to find the meaning in these small patterns in your code. And so what does that mean? Well, we write code to solve problems, and usually in any given solution, there are a handful of smaller patterns that build up that larger solution. What I'm saying is, as a beginner, you should focus your energy on understanding and really having ownership of those smaller patterns. If you approach programming this way, you're going to find it a lot more manageable to really cover complex topics by chunking it into smaller pieces that are easier to digest. For example, compare a programming language to a spoken language like English. If you're trying to learn English in a very practical way, you might start by focusing on the meaning of individual words, then eventually the grammar of the language, and then finally constructing phrases and sentences with meaning. In the same way, when you learn how to program initially, you want to focus your attention on the words and grammar of programming, and eventually you'll be putting these words together in ways to solve new problems. And so my next tip is really targeted at those self-learners in the crowd. My second tip is to use self-sufficiency as your signal of mastery. What I mean is you should only move on to the next concept in a progression once you're able to perform the current concept on your own. It's really important that when you learn how to program, you don't miss a step. I think the worst thing you can do when you learn to program is to carry over a deficit from one topic onto the next. So let's say you're only kind of getting topic A, but you still move on to topic B. When you carry over that deficit, you're going to find topic B pretty much impossible to understand, or at least very, very frustrating. During this course and its exercises, I'm going to be providing video walkthroughs for every single problem. For self-guided learning, I think it's very easy to fall into the trap of only coding along with the video, right? Things definitely make sense when a teacher is talking over the code and explaining things line by line, but as a programmer, you want to strive to be self-sufficient. And so what you want to do is use these video walkthroughs to get yourself unstuck when you're working through an exercise. However, to truly move on to the next topic or the next video in the course, you want to be able to solve all the problems in the current exercise on your own. And so that's what I mean when I say use self-sufficiency as your signal of mastery. Alright programmers, that's all I got for this introduction. In the next video, we'll start the course and I hope that you join me.